So I already talked about my favorite films and the most disappointing, but you know what, guys, let's cut the bullshit. You read the title, you know exactly what this video is going to be about, so let's get down to business.
Number 5. Captain America. The Human Torch playing Captain America? What would happen if the producers decided they make a movie where these two interact? Yeah, Chris Evans, not my favorite actor. And Joe Johnston, after directing The Wolfman, I lost faith in him. So when the movie was first announced, I dismissed it as your typical Hollywood action film. But after it received the good reception it got, I decided to give it a chance, and I thought it was good. Really good, actually. I mean, it's not gonna win any awards or explore complex emotional or philosophical quandaries. It's just good old-fashioned entertainment done really well. The performances are fine, especially from Evans, surprisingly enough. It looks great, the action is spectacular, and the best thing about it that I didn't see coming was the simple but effective story. In an era of trying to mimic Batman's success by having all of their heroes and villains be dark and brooding and attempting to make a superhero movie that's more than just a superhero movie, Captain America says fuck that shit and does the exact opposite. It takes the comic book sensibility and runs with it. The hero is noble, just, relatable, and wanting to do the right thing. And the villain is wicked, dastardly, and has an evil scheme to, you guessed it, take over the world.
Of course!
I apologize to Doug Walker for stealing that joke, but come on! It was a perfect setup!
It's certainly no Shakespeare, but that's okay. It's a simple, straightforward story of good versus evil where we cheer for the underdog, and thankfully it's all the better for it. It's a great setup for the Avengers movie, and I'm glad I saw it. And if you haven't seen it yet and you're in for a good old-fashioned classic heroism, then give this one a watch. Number 4. The Help. As some of you know, I live in Mississippi, where The Help was filmed and takes place in. I also work at a movie theater. So when The Help came out at our theater, we sold out every single fucking screening for 2 weeks straight, and the audience mostly consisted of old people and housewives. Needless to say, it was a nightmare.
So in regards to actually seeing the damn movie, I said, fuck that noise. But my dad wanted to go see it badly, and after some constant pestering, I finally caved in and took him to see it. And you all know where this goes.
I actually thoroughly enjoyed it. It may not be perfect. The theme of the movie is the exact same as every other major studio production that has ever been about Mississippi. Racism!
Good job, guys. Way to think outside the box.
But what makes this film, well, good, are the characters and the actors who play them. They are fantastic, especially from Octavia Spencer, who in my opinion deserves the Best Supporting Actress Oscar. It's that good. The plot isn't that bad either, and once again, it's the characters who make you give a damn about it. And I gotta admit, being a native Mississippian, it was cool to see that they shot most of this on location. And during the movie, my dad pointed out all the places he'd been where the film was shot. What else can I say? The Help was a solid and entertaining picture that I'm glad I gave a chance to. And if you can get past the recycled and typecasted theme, you should give it a chance too. Number 3. X-Men, First Class.
Another superhero movie. How about that?
I never did get into the X-Men franchise back when I was a kid. Never saw the cartoon, never played the arcade game, never read any of the comics, and of course, never saw any of the movies. So when First Class came out, my reaction kind of went like this.
Another X-Men movie? Please. I'm way too cool for that stuff.
But then my roommate saw it and he said it was really good.
It was really good.
See, I told you. So I went and saw the movie, and wouldn't you know it, it was excellent. There was so much I genuinely enjoyed about this movie. The stellar performances from the cast, Rose Byrne, the brilliant script and direction, Rose Byrne, the fantastic action scenes, Rose Byrne.
She's so fucking beautiful. Wait, what was I talking about?
The plot is just excellent. It manages to have emotionally complex and three-dimensional characters that actually take the time to develop so we can actually care about them. Well, except for the characters who die early on. James McAvoy's performance is great, as always, but the real star of the show is Michael Fassbender, who just fucking nails it! That's how good it was! Like I said before, I never got into the X-Men franchise, but after watching First Class, it definitely has me interested. Number 2. Rise of the Planet of the Apes. Being a person who has never seen a single Planet of the Apes movie, I met the announcement of the most recent one with very little enthusiasm. And by very little enthusiasm, I mean I thought it was going to completely suck donkey balls. But then I saw that James Franco was in it.
Alright, he's a great actor, but he may just be doing it for the money.
Then I heard that Wado was doing the special effects.
Well, at least the film's gonna look good, but I'm still iffy about it.
Then I learned that it was going to utilize the same performance capture techniques they used in Avatar, and that Andy Serkis, freaking Gollum, was going to be the main ape.
Fine, I'll give the film a freaking chance. Holy shit. That was fucking good.
Needless to say, the movie blew me away. Everything about it was great. The story, the special effects, and the characters. Yeah, they may be the cliched types of characters that can easily be read, but they're done so well that they feel fresh. On top of all that, there are some real standouts here, such as John Lithgow, and do I even have to mention Andy Serkis? With The Lord of the Rings, The Adventures of Tintin, and now this, he's becoming the best and most undervalued actor working today. And even though I'm disappointed that he wasn't nominated for an Oscar, seriously, Academy, you chose Max von Sydow and Jonah Hill over this guy? His performance will no doubt be recognized, celebrated, and mimicked for years to come.
Hey Phil, can I use the computer?
No!
Alright, I'm just gonna come back later.
Though the only thing I didn't really like about the movie is that despite the title being called Rise of the Planet of the Apes, there isn't really much rising until close to the end of the movie. And even then, the apes don't strive to take over the world, they just want to be free. And a convenient plot device does most of the dirty work for them, which will undoubtedly be covered in the sequel. Overall, I'm really glad I saw this movie. In fact, now that I'm talking about it, I'm probably going to see it again here soon. And the #1 movie of 2011 that completely took me by surprise by how good it was is Bridesmaids. Yeah, I've already talked about Bridesmaids in my best films of 2011 list, so I'll keep it brief. Some of you already know how much I love this movie, but seeing how it's on this list as well, it's obvious that I didn't always think of it that way. I dismissed it as just another chick flick that was trying to be a little bit more raunchy, but then it started getting all this unreal praise from people everywhere. So I swallowed my pride and saw it, and I absolutely loved it. It told a rich and surprisingly relatable story with wonderful characters, and it was absolutely fucking hilarious. It was an exhilarating breath of fresh air in terms of comedic storytelling, and I just fucking loved it so much. I can't stress that enough. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Go see this movie. Don't be dissuaded by the fact that it has an all-female leading cast and it's about planning a wedding. It's one of the funniest movies I've seen in a long time, and if you want a good laugh, then I implore you to see it. You'll be glad you did. Oh, and one more thing. Rosebud!
Let's get this guy laid.
And I'm a steaks porter.
I'm not going in bareback. It was really good.